The Skullfingers, issue number 2 of Reunions and Sorrow. Dark fire burst forth from Lunar Blaze's hands as one of the strange felines rushed her from the side. "These creatures are quite resilient," she said. "If I am correct, they are stalking crawlers. My race has encountered them in our traversal of dimensional space." The stalker she had fired upon began pawing at the spot on its body where Lunar's blast had struck. "Seems they are not too sure what to make of being hurt," Never said, using a gust to propel herself into the air so she could kick at another crawler that had launched toward her. Her foot connected with the head of the creature, causing it to curl up into a ball before landing to peer up at Never, who had taken the opportunity to grab onto the railing above. "They tend to hunt in dimensional spaces that are devoid of intelligent prey," Lunar said. The stalker she had blasted was now creeping toward her with another. If they feel overwhelmed, they will rely on sheer numbers to bring down their food. "Did you say food?" Never gulped, summoning light-infused wind to strike at the face one of the stalkers attempting to corner Aurora. "Are you good over there, Aurora?" The stalker Aurora had stung was wobbling on its feet as it tried to team up with another to push her on the defensive. If she were able to get in close enough, she would be able to employ her webs and coat the injured beast, bringing the odds to a more manageable number. "I'm fine, but these things have me grounded. Normally I would leap to a wall or seek higher ground." "Biological creatures, now dubbed stalking crawlers," Boop stated. "Dimensional instability detected in their current alignment with artificial hollow construct." "Can we use that to our advantage?" Aurora asked as both Lunar and Never let loose with different types of blasts. Both of the crawlers near her began pawing at their eyes, with the stung feline slowly collapsing to the ground, Aurora's toxins finally taking their toll. "Affirmative," Boop said. "Electrical discharge should cause them to shift out of the artificial environment." "Hurl them at me," Maple urged as Lunar immediately inched close as she could to the section of the wall that housed Maple Jolt. "What are you doing?" Never yelled from the walkway above as the two of the crawlers began growling at Lunar. The Genshin was waving her hands at them in a taunting gesture, making them even more incensed than before. "I am not without options," Lunar replied. "Please, keep an eye on the one that has pounced up to your level." Looking across the room, Never cursed as a crawler was making its way toward her while flexing its muscles for a potential jump. Summoning her innate magic, she whipped out a lash of air with a stream of bright light. The creature, though, brought up a paw to cover its eyes. "Seems they can adapt to tactics. I do not like these things." Taking a risk, Aurora dashed to the side, causing the remaining crawler on her to lash out with a paw. Seeing an opening, she released another stinger deep into the extended appendage. The crawler yowled in agony, immediately biting at its paw while curling up into a ball. Aurora launched herself into the air, catching and landing above them expertly before vaulting up behind the crawler, seeking to engage Never. As if sensing her presence, the crawler pounced backward over Aurora before landing on the walkway once more. "See what I mean?" Never said, swirling strands of light between her fingers. "Sort of freaky that they are able to formulate strategies to get at their food. Once I saw a special about jumping spiders like that." "I am not a jumping spider," Aurora stated as she yanked on a strand of thick web she had left at the other end of the walkway. The crawler's front legs pulled out from under it, causing its head to strike the walkway hard. "However, I am able to come up with something on the fly. Let's help Lunar before—" "There will be no need," Lunar said as the two crawlers both leaped toward her. In an instant, Lunar flew upward, leaving the two creatures no time to correct their actions. Both slammed into the wall near Maple and received a sizable jolt of electricity. Seconds later, the crawlers faded from view. It seems Boop was correct in its calculations. I suggest hurling the other three at the wall to make certain they are no more trouble while we go about rescuing Maple." Rushing down a hallway, Brave thought about what she had learned. Everything had already been imparted to Shiguma, but the information Professor Evan had given them was somewhat unbelievable. A scientist had discovered a way to construct an artificial pocket dimension that mirrored wherever it was constructed. The problem did not seem to be with the hollow itself, but rather with the location it was copied. Why do some scientists have to be so crazed with seeing if something can be done? Shiguma asked, not fully expecting an answer. This one seems to have not only employed his badness, but it cost him his own life. Why can't people be more sensible with the unknown? Turning a corner, Brave found the door to where they needed to place the first calibration log. I once stopped a wizard from attempting to turn his skin into mold, she said. We had taken all the animals from his home, but they were dead set on seeing the spell could be perfected. The only way we could stop them was a swift kick to the throat. Ouch, Shiguma said. I've had the misfortune of a Havanese stepping on my foot. Total accident, but I felt it through my steel-toed boots. Smarted for a week. Still have no idea how you're able to be so swift. Wasting no time running into the room, Brave grabbed a rod from the satchel holding and secured it. The device lit up orange, ready to receive information. Our bones are dense, but our body tissue is exceedingly light. Also, I have spent years training as a parkour wrangler and a heroic. Sort of goes with the territory. Okay, one down. And with that, I will see you all in the near future, and thank you for listening.